Welcome to Journeys with My Body, your go-to podcast for uncovering the hidden stories of aging, health, and pregnancy. I'm your host, Heidi, and together, let's explore the inherent intelligence our bodies hold. In each episode, we'll offer practical wisdom and expert insights to help you honor and navigate your unique path. Join me as we embrace the beauty and resilience within, one heartfelt story at a time. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Journeys with My Body. I'm your host, Heidi, and today we're looking at the world of words. Not just any words, but the ones we use to talk to ourselves about our bodies. Buckle up because we're about to embark on a linguistic journey that might just change the way you think, feel, and experience your unique body. All right, let's kick things off with a little thought experiment. I want you to imagine you're standing in front of a mirror. I know we've used this one before, but stay with me. Take a moment to really visualize this. Now, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it something like I'm too fat, I'm too skinny? Maybe I'm ugly or I'm tired, I look tired. If you catch yourself thinking something along these lines, don't worry, we all do it. We've all been there. But here's what we want to explore today. These aren't just harmless thoughts. They're powerful statements that shape our reality. Today, we're going to unpack why that is and how we can flip the script to create a more loving, compassionate relationship with our bodies. Let's discuss the power of language for a moment. You know, it's wild when you think about it. As humans, we have this incredible ability to use symbols, that's what words are after all, to represent complex ideas, emotions, and experiences. But here's the thing. Our language doesn't just describe our reality, it shapes it. Think about it this way. When you say, I'm fat, you're not just making an observation. You're making a judgment. You're defining yourself by a single characteristic, and usually not in a positive way. It's like you're putting on a pair of glasses that filters everything you see about yourself through this fat lens. And let me tell you, those glasses can seriously distort your view. This is where self-judgment comes into play. When we use absolute statements like I am, insert any negative attribute after that, we're essentially putting ourselves on trial. We become both the harsh judge, your inner critic, and the convicted criminal in our own mental courtroom. And you know, that judge, they can be brutal. But there is a way to dismiss this judge, or at the very least, get them to chill out a bit. What if you could see yourself more clearly without those distorting glasses? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore. Let's discuss a powerful shift in how we talk about our bodies and our experiences. This technique has helped me transform my relationship with my body, and I bet it can do the same for you. Okay, let's go. So here's the big idea. Instead of saying, I am something, we're going to start saying, I am experiencing something. I know it sounds like it's just semantics, but hear me out, because this tiny change can make a world of difference, and I'll tell you why. Let's start with a common example, hunger. Imagine you're sitting at your desk, it's 11:30 a.m., and your stomach starts to growl. Typically, you might think or say, I'm hungry. Simple, straightforward, and it gets the point across. But what if you said to yourself, I'm experiencing the sensation of hunger instead? At first, it sounds like it might mean the same thing, but this crucial difference can transform your relationship with your body. When you say, I'm hungry, you're identifying with the sensation. It's like saying, this hunger is me. It can feel urgent and overwhelming as it defines your entire state of being at that moment. But when you say, I'm experiencing the sensation of hunger, you create a little space between you and the feeling. You're acknowledging the sensation without letting it define you. You become the observer of your hunger rather than being consumed by it. It's like you're putting on the scientist's lab coat and clipboard, looking at your hunger with curiosity instead of judgment. This shift does three very important things. One, it helps you respond rather than react. When you're not identified with the sensation, you can make clearer choices about how to address it. You may realize you're not actually hungry, you're bored or thirsty, or maybe you are hungry, but you can choose a more nourishing snack instead of grabbing the first thing you see. Two, it increases your body awareness. You start to notice the nuances of the sensation, where you feel it, how intense it is, what it's really telling you. It's like tuning up the volume on your body's signals and really listening to them. Number three, it empowers you. Instead of being at the mercy of your bodily sensations, you become the conscious experiencer of them. You're not a slave to your hunger. You're the CEO of your body, making informed decisions based on the data your body is sending you. And there's more. This approach isn't just for hunger or physical sensations. It's a versatile tool that can transform how we experience our emotions, thoughts, and even our sense of identity. Let's explore how we can apply this technique to different areas of our lives. So, for instance, emotions. We often say things like, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm anxious. But what if we reframed these statements? Instead of I'm angry, try saying I'm experiencing anger. This subtle shift acknowledges that the emotion is real, but it's not your entire being. It's a temporary state that you're moving through. So, for example, if you're stuck in traffic and feeling frustrated, instead of thinking, I'm so angry right now, try, I'm noticing feelings of frustration arising. I know it sounds a little bit, but it works. This creates a bit of distance and allows you to observe the emotion rather than being consumed by it. You might find it easier to let go of the anger or respond to the situation more calmly. How about thoughts and beliefs? We often identify strongly with our thoughts, especially long-held beliefs about ourselves. But thoughts aren't facts. They're mental events that come and go. By applying our linguistic shift here, we can loosen the grip of negative self-talk. Instead of, I'm a failure, try, I'm noticing thoughts of self-doubt. Rather than, I'm not good enough, say, I'm experiencing feelings of inadequacy. This creates space between you and the thought, allowing you to question its validity and choose to engage with it. Physical appearance. Body image is a huge area where this technique can make a difference. Instead of I'm fat or I'm ugly, try I'm having critical thoughts about my body, or I'm noticing judgments about my appearance. This small shift can help interrupt the cycle of negative self-talk and body shame. Another area, skills and abilities. We often define ourselves by what we can or can't do, but our abilities are not fixed. They can change and grow. So instead of I'm bad at math, try I'm experiencing difficulty with this math problem. Instead of I'm uncoordinated, say I'm noticing challenges with this physical task. This reframing acknowledges the current experience without making it a permanent part of your identity. Same thing for personality traits. We tend to box ourselves in with statements like I'm shy or I'm lazy, but these traits aren't set in stone. Try reframing them as I'm experiencing discomfort in social situations, or I'm noticing a lack of motivation right now. This allows for the possibility of change and growth and doesn't keep you locked into any one judgment about yourself. It also helps you escape anyone else's judgments. You don't have to take it on. You don't have to assume it as who you are because they have a judgment about you. Chronic conditions. For those dealing with ongoing health issues, it can be very easy to identify strongly with the condition. Instead of I'm a diabetic or I'm depressed, try I'm managing diabetes or I'm experiencing depression. Again, this subtle shift acknowledges the condition without letting it define your entire identity. Relationships. We often define ourselves by our relationships. And instead of I'm a failure at relationships, try I'm noticing patterns in my relationships that I'd like to change. This reframing opens up possibilities for everything. By applying this technique across different areas of our lives, we create a more flexible, compassionate relationship with ourselves. We're no longer trapped by rigid self-definitions. Instead, we become curious observers of our own experiences. We're also not trapped, again, by anyone else's definition of us. It doesn't mean we ignore or dismiss our feelings, our thoughts, or our experiences. On the contrary, we're acknowledging them fully, but we're doing it in such a way that it doesn't let them overwhelm us or define us completely. Think of it like this. You are the sky, and your thoughts, emotions, and sensations are the weather. The weather can be stormy, sunny, or anything in between, but it doesn't change the fundamental nature of the sky. By saying, I'm experiencing or I'm noticing, you're reminding yourself that you are the vast, unchanging sky, not the temporary weather passing through. This perspective can be incredibly liberating. It allows us to engage with our experiences without being controlled by them. We can acknowledge our anger without lashing out, recognize our anxiety without being paralyzed by it, or notice our self-doubt without letting it stop us from pursuing our goals. For the next week, try implementing this shift in your daily life. Every time you notice an intense sensation or emotion, try phrasing it as an I am experiencing or I am noticing. Pay attention to how this changes your relationship with that feeling. Does it give you a greater sense of control? Does it help you respond more mindfully to your body's signals? It isn't about suppressing or ignoring your body's messages. It's about creating a more nuanced awareness of those messages. It's about becoming a compassionate observer of your own experience. So, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with a final thought. As I've mentioned before, our bodies are constantly communicating with us, sending us valuable information about our needs, our environment, and our overall well-being. By shifting how we talk about these signals, we can become better listeners and more attuned to the wisdom of our bodies. So, the next time your stomach growls, your muscles ache, or your heart races with anxiety, take a deep breath and say to yourself, I am experiencing ... You might be surprised at how much more in tune you become with your body. So that's it for today. I'd love to hear about your experiences with this technique. So drop a comment on our podcast page or send us a message on social media. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got lots more fascinating mind-body insights coming your way. So until next time, this is Heidi reminding you to stay curious and stay connected to your incredible body. Take care.